Yamuna tira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana. Yasodanandana Vrajajanaranjana. Yamuna tira vanachari. Yamuna tira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Akacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimati Svangles et Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivraj Akacharya Ashtotara Sata Sri Srimati Svangles Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Adanta Koti Vaishnavana Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Siko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Madam Mohan Ki Jai. Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Jai. Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the Samalivotis. All glories to the Samalivotis. All glories to the Samalivotis. All glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vasavudade. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pachaline. Nirvesesha Sunnavadi Pastyata Zidatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Skanda, 22nd chapter, sloka number 27. And today is also disappearance day of Sri Ramanujacharya. We'll try to speak also a little bit about the Acharya Ramanuja. Sloka number 27. Dagda asayaha mukta samasta tadgunaha na eva atmanaha bahihi antaha vichaste para atmanoho yat vyavadhanam purastat swapne yata purushaha tat vinase dagdha sayo mukta samasta tadguno naivatmano bahirantar vichaste paratmano yadvyavadhanam purastat swapne yatha purushastad vinase dagdha sayo mukta samasta tadguno naivatmano bahirantar vichaste paratmano yadvyavadhanam purastat swapne yatha purushastad vinase dagdha sayo mukta samasta tadguno naivatmano bahirantar vichaste paratmano yadvivadhanam purastat swapne yatha purushastad vinase. Vaishnavis. Dagda asayaha. All material desires being burned. Mukta, liberated. Samasta, all. Tadgunaha, qualities in connection with matter. Na, not. Eva, certainly. Atmanaha, the soul or the supersoul. Bahihi, external. Antaha, internal. Vishashte, acting. Para atmanoho, of the supersoul. Yet, that. Vyavadhanam, difference. Purastat, as it was in the beginning. Swapne, in dream. Yata, as. Purushaha, a person. Tat, that. Vinase, being finished. Translation. When a person becomes devoid of all material desires and liberated from all material qualities, he transcends distinctions between actions executed externally and internally. At that time, the difference between the soul and the supersoul, which was existing before self-realization, is annihilated. When a dream is over, there is no longer a distinction between the dream and the dreamer. Please repeat. When a person becomes devoid of all material desires and liberated from all material qualities, he transcends distinctions between actions executed externally and internally. At that time, the difference between the soul and the supersoul, which was existing before self-realization, is annihilated. When a dream is over, there is no longer a distinction between the dream and the dreamer. Sri Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Sri Sri Jagannath Subhadra Baladev ki jai. Purport by Zimangles et Si Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. As described by Srila Rupa Goswami, Anya Vilashita Sunyam, one must be devoid of all material desires. When a person becomes devoid of all material desires, there is no longer a need for speculative knowledge or fruitive activities. In that condition, it is to be understood that one is free from the material body. The example is already given above. A coconut which is dry is loosened from its outward husk. This is the stage of liberation. As said in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Skanda, 10th chapter, 6th sloka, Mukti, liberation, means Sarupena Vyavastitihi, being situated in one's own constitutional position. All material desires are present as long as one is in the bodily concept of life. But when one realizes that he is an internal servant of Krishna, his desires are no longer material. A devotee acts in this consciousness. In other words, when material desires in connection with the body are finished, one is actually liberated. When one is liberated from the material qualities, he does not do anything for his personal sense gratification. At that time, all activities performed by him are absolute. In the conditioned state, there are two kinds of activities, One acts on behalf of the body, and at the same time, he acts to become liberated. The devotee, when he is completely free from all material desires or all material qualities, transcends the duality of action for the body and soul. Then the body concept of life is completely over. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasa gira nikhilaswa pyavastasu jivan mukta sauchate. When one is completely fixed in the service of the Lord, he is a liberated person in any condition of life. He is called jivan muktaha, liberated even within this body. In such a liberated condition, there is no distinction between actions for sense gratification and actions for liberation. When one is liberated from the desires of sense gratification, he has no longer to suffer the reactions of lamentation or illusion. Activities performed by the karmis and jnanis are subject to lamentation and illusion. But a self-realized liberated person, acting only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, experiences none. This is the stage of oneness, or merging into the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that the individual soul, while keeping his individuality, no longer has separate interests. He is fully in the service of the Lord, and he has nothing to do with his personal sense gratification. Therefore, he sees only the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not himself. His personal interest completely perishes. When a person comes out of a dream, the dream vanishes. While dreaming, a person may consider himself a king and see the royal paraphernalia, his soldiers, etc. But when the dream is over, he does not see anything beyond himself. Similarly, a liberated person understands that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, acting in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. And as such, there is no distinction between himself and the Supreme Lord, although both of them retain their individuality. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. This is the perfect conception of oneness in relation to the Supersoul and the Soul. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Dhyananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitansya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhalu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here, Prithu Maharaj is receiving the four Kumaras in this chapter, and he has asked a question related to the goal of life, how to achieve goal of life quickly, easily, and the four Kumaras who have asked one of them, that is Sanaka, to speak about the subject matter, how to achieve the goal of life. That is the most important question that we should have in mind as a human being. Other living entities, they cannot ask this question. They are totally engrossed in maintaining their body, and they have no option to ask such a high philosophical question. What is the goal of life? We are very proud to accelerate our lifestyle. Previously, we used to go by foot, by bullock cart, cycle rickshaw. Then auto rickshaw came, cars. Then now we had trains. Now we have super fast. No? Bharat. Super fast trains and planes. So all this are increasing the speed of our life. But the main point is either we go slowly or fast. But where are we going? That is the main point we should have in mind. What is the goal of these travels? We are happy to travel to different places, but actually we do not know where to go or how to go properly in the proper direction. So that is the most important question, and for the benefit of not only Prithu Maharaj is self-realized, so he is asking the question on behalf of all the conditioned souls. So by going through these teachings, we understand what should be the quality of our life, not only the quantity and the speed of our life, but what quality should be our life, of what quality. So this instruction here in this sloka, already the four Kumaras, Sanat Kumar, has explained to Prithu Maharaj that one should be devoid of material desires. And Srila Prabhupada quotes also in the purport from Rupa Goswami, Anya Vilashita Sunyam. Anya, any other. Avilashita, desire. Sunyam, no, should be no other desire. So what should be the desire? Anya Vilashita Sunyam, Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam. These other desires have been defined as two, mostly. In general, they are considered to be under the two categories. One is jnana, that is the search for knowledge, speculative knowledge, and the other one is karma. Karma means the fruitive activities of the embodied soul. So by these two types of activities, we are supposed to reach the end of life. Most of the people, just like at the beginning of our life, we do not know, we are just moving here and there. But then by the age of 5 or so, the parents are sending us to school. So what is the main purpose of school? To develop knowledge. Knowledge of this material world and how to act in this world and so on. But mostly it is simply material knowledge of the nature, environment. And then the child will also be taught how to act for his own benefit. That is, he is taught how to take bath in the morning, how to eat properly, how to take rest sufficiently, peacefully, and so on, how to engage in friendly activities with the friends, how to make friends. This is karma. So, jnana and karma. These are the two main considerations by which the human beings are supposedly reaching perfection. It is considered that if a person is very knowledgeable or he is glorified in the society, for him there's some Nobel Prize or this and that. And if he's engaged in charitable activities, very well behaved, then there are also many prizes by the president of the country, and so he is recognized. So jnana and karma. But nobody will be recognized officially in this atheistic society if he develops pure Krishna consciousness. People will think, oh, this is his own business. We have nothing to do with that. Let him be whatever he wants. At best, they tolerate. Otherwise, they put a stop. Why you are chanting Hare Krishna? Get out. No disturbance. Just like in Bombay, at the beginning, starting our mission there, the disciples had Nagar Kirtan. So it is, at that time, the police department, they were thinking, this is nuisance, noise pollution. And they arrested the Kirtan and they were stopping and sending them away. You cannot do Kirtan here. The cars are doing so much noise, they're honking, and so much disturbance everywhere. So much pollution by noise, and the air is polluted. But when we have Kirtan in the street, they were thinking this is noise pollution. You cannot do that. So that is a consideration on the materialistic people. They have no idea what is the goal of life. So in this way, if we pay attention to this Kumara's teachings, then our life may take a new direction. What is that direction? First of all, Anyabhilashita Sunyam. Why should we be devoid of desire for sense gratification and accumulation of knowledge? Because everything that is related to these two things is temporary. We are eternal. We should look for eternal welfare, not for temporary well-being, even though it may sound very high. But we should understand the difference between eternal activity and temporary activity. We are embodied. We take birth in a particular family. We identify ourselves with a particular nation, color, religion, and so on. By dint of this self-identity, we act in various manners. We develop particular activities and feelings and so on. So this is all temporary, and it is not absolute behavior. It is related to the body and mind only. For that purpose, we have taken birth in that manner. But if we consider the entire picture, from where we are coming, where are we going, all these questions, then we shall come to the spiritual aspect of life. We have not taken birth. Najayate mriyate va kadachin. Nayam buddha bhavita vana bhuyaha. Ajo nitya sasvatam yam purano. Nahanyate hanyamane sarire. that we have to understand by listening to Bhagavad Gita and taking shelter of the spiritual master. This consciousness can be only acquired by association with the pure devotee of the Lord. So this would be our great fortune if by good chance Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. If by good fortune, by the mercy of the spiritual master and Lord Krishna, we come in contact with the spiritual master, in this way we can develop this Bhakti Lata Bij. The Guru will give us a Bhakti Lata Bij, and by constant chanting and hearing and chanting Savanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, and so on, practicing the items of devotional service, this Bhakti Lata, which was implanted in the heart of the disciple by the spiritual master, will grow. It will grow more and more. It will reach the end of the universe. It will penetrate through the nadi that separates the material and spiritual world, and it will enter into the spiritual world, and finally it will reach the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. This is the progress of our spiritual life. We need not consider only one life. We may, in many lives, this may happen, but we should start from now. That is the injunction of the scriptures. Tato Brahma Jigyasa. Now we should inquire. We have already had so much experience in the field of knowledge and karma, either good karma, bad karma, but we have sufficient experience. So now is the time to give a new orientation to our activities in the field of spiritual life, Krishna consciousness. So by the grace of Guru, we have the possibility of developing Krishna consciousness. And the ultimate here, in this sloka, the four Kumaras, the Sanat Kumar is telling that we have so far lived a dream, and now it's time to awaken. Jeev Jago, Gora Chandra Bole, Kotanidra Jao Maya, Pisachi Rakole. Wake up, sleeping soul. For so long you have been sleeping in the lap of Maya. This Maya has taken over your body and mind. It is like a Pisachi. You have become ghostly haunted. You do not know what you are doing. Your person, body and mind has been taken over by Maya. Whatever you are doing, that is under the compulsion of Maya. You have no liberty to choose your own life. So that is a dream. You are completely possessed by the ghost of Maya. That is the situation. So the solution is that we have to wake up. That is the injunction of the Vedas. Wake up. And end this dream that has kept you for so long in the lap of Maya for so many millions and billions of years. Now is the opportunity to wake up and to come to Krishna consciousness. chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the great souls who are self-realized, such as the four Kumaras, or even Prithu Maharaj, the Acharyas, just like Ramanujacharya also, he dedicated his life to preach the message of Lord Krishna, because by doing so, the conditioned souls, human beings, will have opportunity to perfect their lives. And as Srila Rupa Goswami again, Srila Prabhupada is quoting, Iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasa gira nikila swapyavastasu jivan mukta sauchyate. So the subject matter is mukti. What is mukti? Mukti has been defined also Srimad Bhagavatam in another sloka. Mukti ritvanyata rupam sarupena vyavastitihi. So itvanyata rupam. Mukti means, first of all, you give up your dream. I am so and so, such and such body, such family, such nation. You give up all that. And this is my duty, and so on. I belong to this caste. I'm a Brahmana, a Kshatriya, Shudra, whatever. You belong to the liberated condition where there is no material consideration. So, idvanyata rupam, mukti ridvanyata rupam. Mukti means, first of all, you give up all these material conceptions, and then swarupena vyavastiti. Swarupa means our permanent form. We are not formless. Swarupa means our eternal position, our eternal identity as eternal servants of Krishna. Swarupena vyavastiti. You should become in this way eternally established in this position as eternal servant of Krishna. That is the meaning of mukti. And Rupa Goswami, he simply given the same explanation in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that we should give up all material considerations and simply be engaged in Lord Krishna's service. Karmana manasa gira. By our body, by our mind, and by our words. So in other words, we can make the best bargain. This is a bad bargain. This body, mind may not be very good. I may be born in the inauspicious conditions, but regardless of the body and mind, regardless of any material condition, if we are determined to serve the Lord, the eternal personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, then there cannot be any impediment. By the grace of Guru and Krishna, if we are sincere enough, karmana manasa gira. We need not give up the body. We need not give up whatever is around us, our possessions and so on. We should use everything in the service of the Lord. Manaso deho geho yokichumar arpiluntua pade nanda kisora. My mind, my body, my house, all my belongings, I offer everything at the lotus feet of Nanda Kishore, Lord Krishna. So that is the what is to be done. We cannot get out of this material condition immediately. It may take some time. According to our karma, we are destined to live for so many years. Either in this body, and maybe some future body also, maybe already ready for us to occupy. But regardless of this material circumstance, we can utilize whatever we have. First of all, the mind. The mind is the most important element that is with us practically 24 hours a day. Our mind is directing us. Our mind is, at the present moment, because of all these desires which are within the mind, our mind is taking us in all directions. A conditioned soul is compared to a husband who has 5 wives. And all the wives are taking this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. 5 directions. At the same time, practically speaking, they are pulling their husband in this way, who is totally helpless. So the senses, the 5 senses, have taken over. So if the senses are not in control, controlled by the mind, and if the mind is not controlled by the intelligence, so that will be our conditioned life. Will not be able to do anything auspicious. So Manasa, as in the bhajan, Manasa Deho Geho, everything should be used in the service of the Lord. Our mind, our body, and our belongings, our house, whatever family members and whatever is in the house. In this way, everything which is available to us, which is part of our life, material life, need not be given up artificially. Just like those who are trying for liberation, the Gyanis, they are very much, or the yogis, they want to take retirement, complete retirement, go to the forest, go to the Himalayas. But that is not easy at all. To give up the material world in this manner is practically impossible. There is every chance that, again, we're living in the jungle or living in the Himalayas, in the forest alone, we shall be tempted by the capricious mind, and we shall deviate from the path of transcendence, and again coming down to the material platform. So to take early retirement, artificially giving up all the material situation is not the solution. The solution is to be engrossed. Our mind should be engrossed in thinking of Krishna, as Krishna says, Manmana Bhava Bhakta, Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So that is the secret of spiritual life. One need not give up the material surroundings and take early retirement. But we should occupy our mind completely in thoughts of Krishna. So that is the solution. Materialistic knowledge is trying to find out what is the material nature, how does it work, from cause to effect. That is the meaning of science. The analysis of cause to effect. But as Srila Prabhupada always reminded us, that perfect knowledge means to find out the cause of all causes, not simply one intermediate cause to the next effect. What is the cause of all causes? That is the perfect science. So we should occupy our mind, just like Srila Prabhupada gave instruction to Srila Bhaktiswara Damodar Swami. You are a scientist, very good. You need not give up your scientific knowledge. Let it be. You occupy very high post in the society. Everybody will pay attention to your words, and whatever quality you have, people will pay attention. So you be a scientist, but be a perfect scientist, spiritual scientist. You be a spiritual scientist. That is, you be engrossed and you preach what is the cause of all causes. That is the perfect science. So that is the what Bhaktivedanta Institute has been founded by Srila Prabhupada for that purpose. People are very eager to learn scientific knowledge. Let it be. That can be a good opportunity to develop spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge is the perfect science. It is scientific. It is not sentimental. It is the pure, ultimate science. So in this way, we can understand how to achieve this goal of here, the Sanat Kumar, the goal being that the dream is over. Now you become one with the Lord. What is the meaning? Becoming one with the Lord. If there is Lord, I'm not the Lord. The Lord is different from me. So what is the meaning of being one with the Lord? The Mayavadis, they have their own idea. To become one with the absolute truth means to merge one's existence. No more conscious, no more separate consciousness. We want to merge in the absolute consciousness, absolute knowledge. And in this way, they want to lose their identity. That is the goal of the Mayavadis, those who are following teachings of Sankaracharya. So that cannot be the goal of life. First of all, we are, as Lord Krishna says, we are eternal beings, individuals. Nahanyate hanyamane sarire. We are eternal. There is no question of annihilating our personality. The Lord is eternal. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipa. Natchaiva nabhavishyamaha. Sarve vayam ataparam. Sarve vayam ataparam. In the future also, we shall remain individual. In this commentary on that sloka, Sankaracharya has made, he has given his opinion that this refers to the state of conditioning. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna as far as the conditioned state of existence. But it is not so. It is in the absolute consideration. Not to Abraham Jatunasa. At any point of life, we have always been individuals. Now we are individuals. In the future also, we shall remain individual. So these are the correct teachings of Lord Krishna. There is no question of ending our individuality as in the teachings of Sankaracharya. So Prabhupada gave the example that which is better? You are thinking that, oh, I will be very happy. The perfection of life will be to end my life, to be nothing practically, to be nothing. No consciousness, no feeling, no experience. That will be the perfection of life. No life, practically speaking. So which is better? To be honey or to taste the honey? To eat the honey and tasting the honey? Which is better? The Mayavadis, they want to become honey. But honey cannot taste honey. Honey doesn't taste honey. It is impersonal life. Actually, he has no life. It is simply material existence, just like that, and with no appreciation whatsoever, no happiness whatsoever. The person who tastes the honey, opens the bottle and tastes the honey, he is the one who is enjoying. So we want enjoyment, we want happiness, so we should be intelligent enough where to find happiness, not in the artificial elimination of our personality, but in the purification of our person by focusing our life on the lotus feet of Krishna, by being Krishna conscious. That is the perfection of our life. Our happiness will be perfect when we are purely Krishna conscious. That is the goal of life, as expressed by the Sanat Kumar. So oneness in this way has another meaning. It is not that merging into the Brahman to become absolutely Brahman, but it is to engage in the service of Brahman. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the ultimate realization, and the Jiva is naturally servant of Bhagavan. So to be engaged in the service of Bhagavan, that is considered to be oneness in this context of oneness in interest, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, that as such there is no distinction between himself and the Supreme Lord, although both of them retain their individuality. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. This is the perfect conception of oneness in relation to the Supersoul and the Soul. So oneness in interest. That is the perfect life, and the devotees of the Lord, they have understood this perfectly. So coming to Ramanujacharya, we can understand by reading Ramanujacharya's philosophy that he has preached this message of Godhead, the perfection of life, perfect oneness with the Lord by engagement in devotional service. He had a lot of opposition in his time because that was just about 200 years after Sankaracharya's, and Sankaracharya's teachings have become very famous, widely disseminated throughout India, and but Ramanujacharya appeared in a Vaishnava family, and from beginning he was conscious of Lord Krishna, and gradually he developed this ability to preach the message of the Lord everywhere. And even when he was studying under his spiritual master at that time, he was shocked to hear some of the examples, commentaries given by his teacher. At one point they were discussing about a section from, I forgot, some Upanishad describing the beauty of the Lord. And a comparison was given of a sudden what is it? I forgot the Sanskrit. Kapyasan, yes. So his teacher, I think Yadava Prakash was his teacher. Yadava Prakash. Huh? Yadava Prakash. He was explaining that the eyes of the Lord are compared to the backside of the monkey. Because Kapi is monkey, No? So in this way, he explained this Upanishadic passage. When Ramanuja at that time, he was hearing, he became shocked, even though he was so young in school. But he did not accept. What is this? Why you are talking like this? This is nonsense. And he gave the proper explanation. Ka api, the sun, the one who is drinking, the sun. So the eyes of the Lord are so beautiful. They are reddish in color, like the complexion of the sun. That was the explanation given by Ramanuja at that time. His teacher considered that, what is this small child? Why is talking to me like this? He doesn't know anything. He is just a small boy. He has come here to learn from me, and he does not accept my commentary in this way. From the beginning, practically, Ramanuja met opposition. So much opposition throughout his life. So much so that some of his opponents, they wanted to kill him. And once Kuresh went to the king, Chola king, and as a result he was attacked and his eyes were pierced. He lost his eyesight. So at that time there was a lot of confrontation between Shaivites and Vaishnavas, followers of Sankaracharya. And now Ramanuja, of course, Ramanuja did not propagate for the first time. These were coming from the predecessors, Acharya, the 12 Alwars. They explained this philosophy. And Ramanuja was just continuing and propagating this philosophy as explained earlier by the Alwars. So Ramanuja today, we can remember his contribution. There are so many. I was speaking about opposition. Once Ramanuja was in a group going towards the northern side on a Tirtha Yatra, and he got a warning that this is very dangerous for you. You are going to be attacked and you may be killed in this yatra. So be very careful. So Ramanuja, he set aside, he came back from, and he took refuge behind. And during the night, he saw Lord Ramachandra. Ramanuja means Lakshman. So he saw this Ramachandra and Lakshman in the forest. In this way, he had this vision. And so I was completely amazed to see the Supreme Lord and Lakshman in the forest. And in the morning, he found himself back to Kanchipuram. He had gone, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, he had come back to his place, Kanchipuram. So there are many miracles. Once he was given Tirtha, Charanamrita. The Pujari was so demoniac, even as a Pujari. He had put poison in the Charanamrita. But Ramanuja, he drank and nothing happened by the grace of the Lord. So he was a perfect Acharya, and he continued the tradition of the Alwars. He took instructions from Yamunacharya, although he could hardly see Yamunacharya. He went to, from Kanchipuram, he went to Srirangam, and there, just after taking sannyas, actually, he didn't take sannyas from anybody else, from himself. It was so urgent situation that he gave himself sannyas ashram, and he reached in this way. Sri Rangam, at that time, Yamunacharya was about to leave his body. Everything was ready for the passing away of Yamunacharya. And Yamunacharya, he was waiting for his successor, Ramanujacharya. And he had his fingers like this. And when Ramanuja was in front of Yamunacharya, then one after another, Yamunacharya, he indicated three instructions. 1, 2, 3. Then he passed away from this world. So one of these instructions was to write a commentary on the Brahma Sutra. Ramanuja took 40 years to complete his commentary. Then he also passed away from this world. In this way, we remember the how Vaishnava conclusions were given by the Advars and by Ramanuja, and how he established the worship of the deities in many places, such as Melkot or Srirangam, Kanchipuram, and many other places. In Jagannath Puri also he went, and many other such places. So that is the perfect life of Ramanuja, for which we are eternally grateful. We have gone beyond the time. Any other questions or comments?
Ramanujacharya has taken two references, particular from Mahabharatam, so that nobody could deny those references. One is Echa Veda Vido Vipra Echa Adhyatma Vido Janaha Te Vadanti Mahatmanam Krishnam Dharmam Sanatanam. So that he clearly established taking these references so that everybody should accept it, because it refers the whole Vedic knowledge. So that it is a very good reference. We have to take cue of his reference and request Sri Vaishnavas to come to common concept as Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained there in Srirangam for 3 months of the rainy season, being the guest of Venkata Bhatta and his family members. And that was the opportunity for Lord Chaitanya to give the teachings of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Of course, he is the originator, and Madhavendra Puri teachings started. And at the outcome of this 3-month stay of Lord Chaitanya in the house of Venkata Bhatta and his family members became, in this way, worshippers of Radha Krishna. They understood. This is a very nice conversation. So, and Gopal Bhatta dedicated his life. He was a small boy, a 5-year-old boy at that time, and he became completely captivated by the personality of Lord Chaitanya, rendering service to him, and he became one of the 6 Goswamis. Lord Chaitanya told Gopal Bhatta that you look after your parents, and after they pass away from this world, you go to Vrindavan in this way. And his uncle, Prabodhananda Saraswati, also became one of the important acharyas in the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So that is the potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could change from Lakshmi Narayana to Radha Krishna. He asked them, why is Lakshmi doing tapasya to enter into a rasa dance? So Venkatapata says, why is she doing tapasya? Lakshmi is supremely independent. She can do whatever she wants, and she is on the level of the gopis. For her to be interested to join a rasa dance, it is not special. It is her own nature. So there is nothing special. Then Lord Chaitanya asked last question. Then if she is so eager to enter a rasa dance, after doing so much tapasya, why she is not allowed in the rasa dance? At that time, Venkatapata said, thank you very much. I cannot answer your question. You only can answer. I cannot answer. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented the worship of Radha Krishna in this way. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.